G'day and welcome to the Early Crows Captain's Run, a brief, sharp look across the weekend's racing and sport with Paps, Pratty and I. We're going to kick off, Tom, at Randwick. Your first bet comes up in race 1, and it's not just one bet, little two-play, hey?
Yeah, little two-play. Tommy two-play. We're going to, I'm not heavily against the Tarrapullin, but I just think it's a little bit too short. So we'll play, it's going from heavy to dry ground as well, that horse. So I'm happy to play race 1, number 5, Sakima, at around, it's around a $7.50 chance. And the other bet is the first starter, race 1, number 8, Qatar's Choice, who's trialled nicely. Barrier 1, Kira McAvoy on, and will just land in a handy spot. There's actually a bit of speed around, so that Sakima will be back, and if they overdo it up front, I reckon that Sakima could run over the top late like it did in its first win last start.
Our man, Karen. The next bet for Tom is in race 4. It is number 5, Masquerade. J-Max steers for Uncle Chris Waller. Why do we like this one, Tommy?
This is a nice little setup here. It's a little bit of a Waller, sort of, I don't know, tricky stuff or magic, you know what I mean? I'll talk you through it. Led up, went to Doomben, was pretty average there. Led up for 52 days. Then goes to Randwick on a heavy, a heavy 9, 1,600 metres. Freshens for 35 days, goes to 1,400 metres, 1,600 to 1,400 metres. And now goes to 1,800 metres where it gets barrier 1, J-Mac. Not much speed in the race, can land closer. Has won at the track before, track and distance has won. So I think this is a nice little setup for Masquerade, and around the $4 mark, good bet.
Our next bet, our third of the 4 races we're betting into, is race 6. It is number 6. It's a Victorian who's gone north. Place of Gold. Jason Collette rides. Cliffy Brown trains, Tom. Yeah,
Place of Gold. Barrier 2, Collette will probably just be a little bit rails in run, midfieldish, but has had 1,200, 1,400 and 1,400 metres runs this prep. Gets to 1,600 metres, 4 starts, 2 wins and a third. Gets the good ground, which is what it needs. And I think this is a nice price, around $11. So have a little nibble there and hopefully land a nice price winner.
Final bet for Tom at Randwick on Saturday comes up in race 7. It is a horse we've been all over plenty of times. We built into it. Some of us really got into our work with this horse, and then the meeting might have got abandoned, Tom. It's Fleetwood.
Yep. It's gone to Melbourne. It's missed the kick. Then went down the straight. You could say in a listed grade, third, 2 lengths off right to party. You could say didn't really like it, or first time doing it down the straight. Goes back to Sydney, where it pissed in over the heavy 9. Gets J-Mac, gets a nice map. Has good splits, has easily the best figures. So don't think about this one, and I'm having a bet.
Gamble responsibly.
Glad we got a J-Mac and James Cummings combination for the weekend. Otherwise, I would have been shattered if that didn't come through on one of Paps' tips. So that's ticked both of those boxes there. The only sweet would have been Zachy Lloyd, but anyway.
There's maybe a little still deciding on one. There might be 1 or 2 more come on the Eyes on Ponies for the list on a Saturday.
Make sure you get onto that. Follow us on the socials. You'll find it. What time's it normally out, Pratty? About 11, 11:30?
Yeah, I mean, really depends on you, doesn't it? So depends if you've got your Oz kick hat on and if you're out the door early and that one's rattled him a bit. His head's wobbling, so...
Oz kick is on. He's on Saturday. It's pray to God it's not as grim as it was last Saturday. Tom, shall we head to Caulfield?
Yeah, let's go to Caulfield, mate.
A couple of really nice bets. It doesn't just, not because we're doing the show for the first time now, the Captain's Run, but they are legitimate bet. Beauty.
Righto, mate. Well, let's go through the races. You want to start with race 3? I think you got a bet there.
This is like as easy as bets ever come. You go through the form, you do it every day, and you got to grind and you got to force it sometimes, and it's a labour of love. Then all of a sudden, things like this pop up, and that's race 3, number 5, Captain Electric, who was enormous, not suited last week on the quick backup from Flemington, where it went back from a wide draw, which wasn't the thing to do at Flemington last week. You pray to God, Zeus, a la Bilbo, that if you're going to get on the quick backup, you're going to draw a barrier, and you're going to put a jockey on. We go from P. Maloney to D. Lane. We're down in grade. We started $7 last week. We backed it last week. Pratty, Paps. I think we took 15s. It started 7s. It was a steamer last week. The market said, hey, this horse is ready to run a race last week. Tactically couldn't win. Went enormous. 13th best last 100 of the day. $3.70 is the greatest gift God ever gave you as a punter on the weekend. I love this bet. I adore this bet. I think it'll roll forward from 6. You'll be in the first 4, and I think it's going to win.
Nice, mate. Looks like you're confident there. Go to race 4. You got another one there that you're pretty keen on?
Less confident, but really like this bet. Simple bet to have. Drawn 5, race 4, number 2, Farrago. Similar setup. Quick backup from Flemington. Harry Grace off. Blake Shin on. Barrier 10 to barrier 5. Nibbled last week in a decent enough race behind Hit the Road Jack. They ran a good number there. This horse has been up for a while. It'll be fit enough. It's going to get a great run with Blake Shin. I think race 4, number 2, Farrago is an easy bet to have.
Few staying races bets. I like it, mate. I like it. We'll go to race 5. And I think you got a 2-bet play here.
Yeah, this is our sort of usual sort of hit and zone 3-year-old fillies, the progressive ones. The first horse we're going to talk about is number 11 at Sledding. Price Kent Jr. train. Willow jumps on, replaces D Lane. Go watch its replay. She's an enormous tank of a thing, and she just crossed at her own leisure at Bendigo. Travelled deluxe, won easy, goes to town. Upside, scope, all those racing words that you hear about, this horse actually has them. It was $11 last night. Anything above $8 is a gift. The other horse that's really relevant in this race, so there's one to be scared of. That's Herbert Park. There's one to respect. It's Kundalini, who goes from Ma to Beg. D-Lane jumps on, trialled nicely. But the other bet to have is number 10, Santacia. Mick D goes on. This horse was trained by Blake Ryan. It's now trained by Lee and Shannon Hope. It trialled enormous, and it's got big, fat numbers at provincial tracks in New South Wales that, to me, are good enough to win this race. The barrier's a trick. He should be positive. He's going to be a little bit wide. That's a great place to be, Caulfield. So we should be on a leader and maybe the thing outside it. Mick D's airborne, riding at 19%. That's his last 100. His last 50 be even better. I think he rode 4 maybe, or 3 last week at Flemington. So I'm keen to back number 10 and number 11 in race 5 at Caulfield. They're my 4 bets across 3 races at Caulfield. Very, very, very keen on the first one.
Lovely, mate. Hopefully we start the captain's run very nicely and we'll get a few reels up.
Oh, 100%. Let's talk golf. 3M Open this week. Starting our Early Crow Golf Club again. I'm starting as a 2-time champ. Going in, I'm looking to take T. Finau, Big Tony, off the trip. He was up at I saw a great tweet from a bloke who was on him because he posted a reel of getting up at 1 a.m. over there and just having food and stuff with his whole family, and they're like, this isn't what you want to see when you bet on Tony. But he was jet lagged so bad, but he's gone home already, so he might have just slotted right back into a routine. He loves this track. I think he's $12. I'm backing Tony, and the other good bet I'm having is Ben Griffin, who at $46 I think represents enormous value. I'm going to have him straight out, and I'm going to have him in the top 5. What are you doing, P-Rat?
Haven't looked yet, but I'm just going to try and go down the board and get some top 20s just to really
anyone who's
off.
listening who's a Crow family member isn't interested in who you're backing. What we're talking about is, have you finally given up on your top 5, top 10 strategy and going to be a big boy?
Nah, I'm going to go even hard. I'm going to go balls to the wall. I'm just going to stick to it. Yep. Yeah, okay. Just to annoy you more than anything.
Yeah, okay. So stand by for Pratty's top 10s and top 5 punters. Tommy?
This week
very good
I'm going...
tournament 3. Very, very good. You're very close. You're on the cusp. What did you run? 4th?
4th, I think. 3rd? Yeah. Just missed out on some money back, but it's all right. We good for the run again. I think I'm in form. I'll be shocked if I'm not close again this time round. But this week I'm going. Do you see that? How deep and thick that rough is there? It's What did you say the average score is there, Pratty?
1 under per round. On average from 2019 to 2023, so it's a tough course.
That's good numbers, good data.
I think that's what you like in the good golf tournaments. You want a bit of a challenge, otherwise it's too easy for them. But I'm going with Burns, Davis, and a bloke that I've never heard of before, Keziah. for top 10. So hopefully he can sneak into the top 10. But some decent prices there. I'll have to double check them, Pratty. But yeah, hopefully we can sneak a good start.
That's golf. We'll finish the captain's run, punters. Hope you enjoyed it so far. I have. We've finished now with a bit of Hugba League, NRL, God's Winter Game. I don't know, because it's a captain's run parade, do we roll back over? So 3 or 4 weeks ago when a young T. Papley was hanging a heap of shit on me for how bad I was going, and do I sort of reference that and then bring up the fact that we're now tied, 30 all each?
You have to, don't you?
Yeah, kind of already did, but yeah, it feels good. Momentum, 3-0 last week. Tom, take it away. What do you got this weekend?
This week, bounce back this week. Good tipsters and punters don't have two bad weeks in a row. We'll go Broncos -9.5 against the Dogs. Titans plus 6.5 against the Dolphins, who I've been on the Dolphins a bit this year, but I'm going against them. And then I'm going to go to the Raiders -3.5 against the South, so at home. What are you doing?
I like the Raiders. I like the Raiders at home. I was going to take the Dolphins. I was going to take the Titans, and now I won't, just out of principle.
Take the Dolphins then.
And I was going to take the Broncos. So now you've just... I've tried to sort of set that up and just give you a really good serve, and you've basically just put me in a tailspin straight off the back of that. So full credit to you, baby. You're very, very good at it. Sometimes, Pratty, we've got to remember, we're going up against one of the all-time great small forwards who handles that sort of head noise every Saturday.
Hates a bit of back chat on the weekend as well.
Yeah, playing with fire. Oh, God. Look, I'm going to follow you with the Raiders, -3.5 at home. Also, just love having that last Sunday game. I like to have a bit of interest in the 6 o'clock game, light the fire, watch the footy. And the other bet I will definitely have is the Sydney Roosters to bounce back off the away loss to the Storm at home versus Manly. -7.5. It's a big number, but I think they're going really good, and they'll bounce back off a bad loss there to the Melbourne Storm last weekend. So my 2 bets that I'm locking in right now: the Roosters -7.5 and the Raiders -3.5. P-Rat, anything to add?
Yeah, I'm tempted to take the Wars at home. 13.5 is scaring me a little bit. I wish it was down near the 10 mark, but I think I'll take the Wars at home, and I'm going head-to-head with Paps. I'm taking the Bulldogs on at +9.5 for sure. But before we get into that banter, what a disgrace, no NRL Thursday night. It's something that I look forward to. It's a double-header tomorrow night. It's with no AFL on, pretty poor fixturing, I reckon.
Well, it's great news for the mailbag clients that buy my stuff and get the Zoom tonight, because I won't be as distracted as I normally am, at least, I guess. That's a real setback.
The AFL's surely got to do Thursday nights full all season.
Do you love playing like on a Thursday night? Have you got a problem with it?
Then you get the whole weekend off. It's fantastic.
Means no Saturday game, doesn't it?
The only time is obviously you got to go Thursday into a Friday or Saturday, which can make it hard, but you can deal with it. It's not that bad.
All right, guys. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the show. Short and sharp as we promised. That's been the Early Crow Captain's Run. Bets, tips galore. I hope you have a really enjoyable weekend. Be nice to each other. Gamble responsibly. There'll be a thing across the bottom. That's a phone number you ring, and there's a website you visit if you have a problem. Gamble responsibly. Have fun. Be nice to each other. Bye for now.